All right, so today I am honored to introduce Mr. Christopher Jargo. With him is also Larissa Lizarraga. Christopher Jargo is the Director of HCPS Career and Technical Education and will be our presenter tonight. Go ahead, Mr. Jargo.
Thank you very much for having us today. We're excited to talk about career and technical education with a focus on our high school programs. We're going to speak for maybe about 10 minutes, and then we're going to pause and take all the questions that are in the chat today. So I'm going to share my screen so I can show some of the resources. So right now, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to start by showing everybody our website. Hopefully everyone can see that. So career and technical education, sometimes known as CTE, are the elective classes that we offer in middle and high school. On our website, we have information such as an overview of the program, some of our sample curriculum, information about our industry certifications that we offer, which is a goal for many of the students to earn at the conclusion of a class or a series of classes, which we call a program. Information about our student organizations that students participate in to demonstrate their knowledge. Our career dual enrollment, where students are taking a high school class as well as a class at our technical college, and information about our business partners. So I'm going to first show you some of the career clusters so you can understand the types of programs that we offer. So across the country, they acknowledge 16 different career clusters, which are just big groupings of courses. Some of the ones that we feature the most courses in include agriculture, food and natural resources, our arts and AV technology and communication, our business management and administration, our health sciences, our information technology, and our various STEM programs. So 16 clusters, and we've got classes in just about all of them. Each of our high schools has at least one of the career and technical classes. Many of them have multiple. In fact, our largest career and technical high school is Tampa Bay Technical High School, which is 100% application. No students are assigned that by default. All the students going there have to apply for one of the 20+ career and technical programs. But whatever high school your student is assigned, there is some career technical program. Usually at the smallest career tech school, about 3 or 4 programs, and the largest has over 20. These are classes that the students will elect to take. They'll take them every year if they choose to, and we encourage them to take a series of courses in the same program so that they continue to deepen their knowledge. One thing we have on our website is an interactive map that I'm going to show you. This is available at a link on our website, and it has all of our various high schools. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so you can get the big picture. The one high school we don't have right now is Sumner. We're working on getting our map up to date, but at the time it had 27 high schools, including our 4 career centers. And the way this works is if you click a certain area, so let's say you're looking for which schools have agriculture, then they will appear with a blue dot, and then some of them will go beige. And as you go, you can click different ones to determine which school has which career cluster. And if you want more information about a school, you can actually click on it. Let's say you're looking for Sickles High School, and it would kind of zoom in on it. And on the side, it would tell you the address and their website and additional information about what they offer. We are working on updating this website so that it has more specifics from the programs. So for example, agriculture is a cluster, but there's about 10 different specific agriculture programs. So in our future iteration, we'll have more information about our programs and include middle schools down the line. I also wanted to share with you one of our resources on our website, which is our list of industry certifications. So this is just a sample list. And if you can imagine, at the end of a career and technical course, we offer students certifications, which is a chance to take a nationally recognized credential that the students can many times take at the school. It will go on their record, and our teachers will be teaching them this credential, and it is something that they can take into the workforce to demonstrate their knowledge. So as an example, we teach many technology-oriented credentials, such as the Adobe Certified Associate Program in various pieces of software, and some others we do many in our agriculture programs and our health science programs, such as our EKG, electrocardiogram technician, and many in our automotive programs. So there's quite a wide variety of certifications. Not all of our classes lead to certification, but most of them do. And some of them lead to a state licensure, such as cosmetology or a barbering type class. So to find out what is specifically offered next school year for your child's school, I would recommend speaking to the guidance counselors. They may be preparing as we speak this time of year for the programming where the students select next year's elective classes. I also wanted to share with you some information from one of our previous displays of events. So I'm going to walk through a few slides with you to give you some visuals, because what we say in career and technical education is we're preparing students for life, and we want to allow them an opportunity to take what they've learned in the classroom and apply it outside the classroom. So we have offered a series of workforce connection events in the past, and we're hoping to offer more of them this year. We're in the planning stages of many of them to come back and allow students to take field trips to various events. Now that we're getting back into the business community. So I'm going to show you some of the events we've done in the past. One of the great ones that we're working on is called Go to Work Tampa Bay. We recognize the need for our students to have professional skills, such as interviewing skills, resume writing, and the ability to interact with business people and present themselves as the best candidate for a job. So in the Go to Work Tampa Bay program, that is one of the initiatives, or that is the purpose of this event. Here's an example of some of the pictures from one of our recent ones. Now this picture, many of you see here, are before COVID-19. So if you're wondering if they don't have a mask or if they're close together, but these are mainly from the 18 and 19 school year. So we really want to have students out in large settings, learning about programs from a wide variety of individuals, so they get that vast experience, so they could build on their resume. And in fact, one of the things we've done is work in our construction industry with something called the Build Tampa Bay event. You see, construction is a booming business in our Hillsborough County area, and so we have encouraged students to go into careers in construction. What we recognize is that even if the specific class they're taking in the high school is not construction, or is not the exact thing that the business is looking for, the skills the students are learning in whatever career class are transferable to other industries. So for example, we at the construction events have invited our automotive students, some of our carpentry students, our welding, electricity, because we recognize that they're building some very similar skills that could be used in the construction industry. Here's an example of the type of large-scale career fair that we would bring students to. Those booths are put on by industry partners, and students are actually interacting with the people who would be hiring them. And in many cases, we will do sort of a hiring day or a hiring event, and which is a really nice thing. I think we've got an image here of some of the students who are there at the event and been selected that day. Here's an example of one where the students are being hired by a company. In fact, in this case here, we had our governor at the time coming to the event to show support that this is a substantial event, that the students should be appreciated in what they're doing. We've also had the opportunity to get out into the field. I'm going to show you some examples of our construction career day. Students getting hands-on, being able to demonstrate under a licensed professional, a little bit of some of the construction equipment, trying to decide if that is for them. We're hoping to have construction career day in the spring of 2022. We have some plans already in place for that. So if your student has an interest in the construction field, they can ask their school counselors about those opportunities. The other thing I would recommend to them is if they're interested in Hillsborough Community College and some of their associates in science programs, we are going to have some opportunities for our high school students to visit HCC, as well as visit HTC, which are the Hillsborough Technical Colleges, to learn about what they can do right after high school if they're interested in some post-secondary education. I'm going to show you another interesting opportunity we've had. If you're in the Plant City area, we are working on the Future Fair. And this is another opportunity to interact with local business partners. So in some of our instances, we're doing a county-wide initiative. So that would be good if the student is flexible to move around the county. With the Future Fair initiative, we're regionally working with business partners in hopes for students to kind of stay in a general region of Hillsborough County and learn what opportunities are there within a reasonable drive to where they live currently. So there's a wide variety of opportunities. And one last one I want to show you before I stop, and let's take some questions, is our Career Quest. We are working and doing this in February 4th, 2022. And this will be at the Hillsborough Community College Dale Mabry campus. The AS or Associates in Science programs are the types that lead to careers in many of our industries. They're typically a program that you can leave HCC and exit directly into the workforce, as opposed to some of the others that you would exit into a 4-year program at something like a USF or University of Florida to get a bachelor. So these are Associate in Science programs that we will be promoting, many of them in the very wonderful careers in health sciences, which we recognize as a stable and challenging career because health, as we continue to improve the healthcare industry, the career opportunities are there for sure. So with that, that's a little bit about our workforce connection events. That is a little bit of a highlight of our website. And I'm going to pause. Please put your questions in the chat, and we would love to take the questions. If they are general, we'll speak about them here. If they are very specific and we need to do some research, we will give you our email addresses. We will be happy to follow up with you tomorrow or later this week if we need to be very specific about giving an answer for your situation. So at this point, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to turn my attention to the chat, and let's see what questions we have.
I'm not sure. Oh, I think we have a question. Are the certification programs open for county virtual students?
Thank you for that question. It is an excellent one. So our virtual students who are with the Hillsborough Virtual School may have some opportunities based on what class they're taking. So the certifications we give are always linked to the class the student takes. So for example, I know that in virtual school, there's an agriculture class, Foundations of Agri-Science. So there is a Agri-Science Foundations certification that would go with that class. So yes, but you cannot take a certification that is not connected to what the student is learning. So we have historically had a small number of certifications in virtual school, but we've actually met with them at the beginning of the school year and have initiatives to increase the certifications available. I am placing my email address in the chat in hopes that if you have a question we can't answer today, or if you think of something tomorrow, you'll contact me, and then we can we could speak on the phone if you'd like to. But let's go ahead and look at the next question. Is it helpful to elect one of the courses for senior year so my child didn't choose any until the junior year? Okay, that is a great question, because oftentimes as a freshman, a 9th or 10th grader, you don't know about these opportunities. So yes, I would still encourage a junior or even a senior to start the programs. The country has a program called the Perkins Grant, which oversees and provides funding for this. And they identify a concentrator as taking 2 career classes. There's to the student, the benefit of taking 2 or 3 is getting more depth of knowledge. But there's no negative impact of only being able to take 1 class. So yes, if you're just about to get to your senior year, if you see a culinary class that you're interested in, if you see a computer class, agriculture, I highly recommend you go ahead and put that down as an elective selection. Typically what will happen is you rank your interests. So everything's not guaranteed because there are limited seats, but I would recommend anybody going into a senior year, if you have an interest, go for it. Let's see if we have any other questions. We'd love to have you type them directly in the chat. As you're thinking of those questions, I'm going to go ahead and put our website that I showed you, especially that interactive website. I want to be able to have you click on that one. If you're interested, here is the interactive map website. Now I'm going to give you our primary website, our homepage for career and technical education. And one more I'm going to give you is the link that had the specific industry certifications on it. One of the interesting things about the career technical certifications is that some of them have a statewide articulation agreement that means that they may provide college credit. It would be a state college, so something like HCC, so that a student could pursue additional pathways in the state college system. So you can ask your student can ask their teacher or their counselor to determine if the program that they're pursuing qualifies for that. Okay, so we have a question here. The links aren't showing in the chat. Okay, I think that's because I sent it to the host and the panelists. So I believe I need to go ahead and send it to everyone. So I will correct that. Thank you for letting me know. And that means also you didn't get my email address. So I'm going to go ahead and send that one more time. Christopher.jargo@hcps.net. All right, I'm going to, let's see, Vijaya Adiraju. Are these courses equivalent of any undergraduate courses? Does a student earn credits? If they earn a certification that the state acknowledges for college credit, then yes, they could earn something at the state college system. So for example, it may not transfer to a university a four-year bachelor's degree. Each one is specific, and each university can have different rules. But in the state college system, it may be more likely to be able to be transferred. And in fact, if I may be able to pull up the website for that and be able to send you a link on that one.
Yes, Lisa, there will be a recording to this in our YouTube link, which I'll place the link again on our site.
Okay, so I just sent a link to the Florida Department of Education about statewide articulation agreements. So if anyone wants to read more about that, there's some kind of overview information, but you may want to, if you wanted to contact me tomorrow or contact me through email and you wanted to get more specific, we could look really granular at exactly which one you're considering for your student. Okay. All right, we have a question about will we get the recordings, and thank you for identifying the answer to that one. Yes, no problem. So Lisette, if you have a question that you about our career classes, you're welcome to put it in here. We're going to continue on till about 6:55, so about 8 more minutes, and then we're going to be taking a break as we reset for our Spanish language version. One of the things I want to talk to you about while we're waiting for some more questions is give you more information about our career and technical student organizations. So you may have heard of things like FFA, Future Farmers of America, FBLA, Future Business Leaders of America, or HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America. These are organizations that allow the student to compete on the topics that they've learned in the class. So we do local competitions. Some are just our county and some are more of our region. We do statewide competitions, and then many of them will pursue a national competition. These competitions bring wonderful joy to the students and seeing them be successful. It brings them honor as they try to build their resume for college. It brings them great networking opportunities. The students that they are in these organizations with often become lifelong friends and could be colleagues in the future. And there's even sometimes scholarship opportunities through these organizations, but more than anything, they're leadership opportunities. You can become an officer in a local or state or even a national organization, and the skills that a student learns of that are simply invaluable. And so we're often proud here in Hillsborough County to have a very active career and technical student organization group, and many times we've had many leaders. Myself, I was very involved with Future Business Leaders of America. But we have all of our various disciplines that are very active. One of the other things we're very proud of is our school-based enterprises. So what that means is that students are learning their techniques in career and they're applying them, and there's often a business aspect to it. So for example, in culinary arts, the students are preparing foods and having a functional cafe at the schools. Most times the teachers are the the patrons of the cafe. So the teachers will go there, they'll have oftentimes a gourmet meal at a very reasonable price. And that money is used, and those profits are then reinvested to make the next gourmet meal for the teachers. And all the while giving the students an opportunity to have the chance to cook food and see what it's like to work in a kitchen, on the back of the house cooking, and also the front of the house serving. In our automotive program, we do school-based enterprises with making small repairs or small maintenance, such as oil changes. And oftentimes we will have school stores. So we have marketing students who are learning about how to purchase products and sell them. Actually, was at a school yesterday or Friday where I saw them doing a coffee shop, and they were understanding how to get the goods in, how to set the price, how to make money, and then how to reinvest that to continue their business. Our cosmetology and barbering programs do the same thing, where they serve the community and have very reasonable cost haircuts or other type services, and then be able to reinvest that money in the products that are used in performing those services. So career and technical education is often the special type of course that a student will be very engaged with and want to go to school the next day because that's maybe their favorite course on their whole schedule. Let's see if we have any other questions. I want to encourage you to type them in the chat and we'll be happy to answer them. One of the other things I wanted to mention before we dismiss here in just a couple minutes is our business partners around the community. So our teachers and our district staff strive to make business relationships so that when the students leave the high school, they have opportunities. So for example, in our automotive programs, we're working with the Morgan Auto Group, and we're making sure that that large auto group and others like it know that our 8 high school automotive programs, or it could be 9 with our career center, are producing students that are ready to go into the automotive maintenance and light repair industry. We have a great entrepreneurship advisory committee, and our Academy of Finance has an excellent advisory committee. So across the board, we try to make sure that business partners have a say and be able to advise us on what type of courses to offer, so that we're not teaching in a vacuum based off of a textbook that is written many years ago. We're listening to what currently needs to be taught and being able to modify our curriculum, and also being able to showcase that the students who are in the high schools learning this material are ready to go to the workforce. So there's a relationship that's beneficial to both the students, the schools, and the businesses to have those business partners engage with our career technical programs. Okay, I'll take any last calls for our questions. All right, Ms. Jessica, I don't see any additional questions, but I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jargo. Thank you, family, parents, community, for joining us and having those great questions. We have a guest also here with us, our director, Felita Lewis. Thank you, Dr. Lewis, for being with us here today. So this was a great time. I will end our recording now. Just wanted to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube link. This recording will be there along with previous and future recordings. Thank you so much, and you guys have a great night.
Thank you, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.